Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Islamic Finance program, where we are going to discuss Islamically issues related to money and wealth. So some of the scholars, as I was listening one of the class recorded by Sheikh Jamal Zarabozo, he was discussing a question by a student, and they asked, is this knowledge fard, like must for us today? And the Sheikh answered it that today, do we get involved in financial transactions? Like, do you get involved in finance?
Yes, you do.
What sort of transactions you get involved normally?
Buying.
For a student, when your money is being sent through the bank, you're going to fetch it. You want to save, leaving money in your bank. As a student, you would want to get married, saving your money. You know, as a student, you want to know if you can use buying items on the internet. You know, purchasing items and using your card. Can you have a credit card? Can you have a transaction card? So basically, we are fully involved in transactions.
Anybody else? Any other transactions? So obviously, lots of buying, selling, anything else?
Many other students might be taking loans for their studies and things of such nature, you know, where finance or something might be involved. You know.
You have anything to add to this?
No.
So there is lots of these transactions. Now, do we know before we engage in these transactions if this is okay or not? That's a big question. Do we know? And if we don't know, who do we ask? Is there someone we can refer?
Honestly speaking, most of the time we do it just because we need to get it done.
So that means we go under the first. So we have that gut feeling, oh, I hope it's fine, but we are not sure. So we are playing kind of on the edge.
On the edge.
Okay? And this is something that is very dangerous. Okay? Now, how about more complex transactions? You are running a business. Or you want to start a business. You want to start somebody to give you maybe $1 million to start your own company. You know, you are studying now, maybe engineering or medicine or psychology or whatever it is that you are studying, and then you want to run your own business. You want to really help people. You have some idea that are great. Okay? You want to get somebody to invest money with you. Do you know how to draw a contract? What are the issues? How are you going to do these sorts of things? Because when we talk about this, you have to understand something very important. Currently, if you look at the Muslim statistics in the world, youth, your generation, between 15 and 29 years old, out of 1.4 billion total people in this category, youth, 15 to 29, okay? You know how many Muslims are in that category? Give a guess. Have a guess.
70 million.
Huh? So we have category of the people between 15 years to 29 years. And I'm saying in the world, there is 1.4 billion of youth, young people, studying, working, hungry to work, dreaming, hoping, looking at around themselves for some ideas. You know, these are the guys who will invent whatever is the next iPhone, Facebook, whatever is the next stuff, Apple. These are the guys. It's going to come from these people. Out of this 1.4 billion, how many of them are Muslims?
1 billion.
How much?
About,
Give me a number.
1 billion.
300
1 million.
300 million.
300 million. How about if I tell you it's 500 million? 500 millions of Muslim youth. By the way, there is 600 or 700 million below 15, but that's another topic and another show. Okay. Think about this number of people. What they're going to do. How they're going to do it. Where they live mainly. They live in a country and economy that is saturated with jobs. It is mainly consumer kind of society, where entrepreneurship, where manufacturing, where all of these businesses are not easily, they are not structured to accommodate for this 500 million of people. Okay? And they are usually done in a way that is old-fashioned and so on. So now societies are rethinking their strategy. How do I engage these youth, talents? You see, there is, let's say in these 500 million, there is maybe thousands of people here, thousands of people who, given right circumstances and all of these things, will create something that will employ 80% of these people. As we know, I was just listening this morning a lecture when Umar sent some soldiers to Amr ibn Nas, and he says, one of these is like 1,000 people. One of these is like 1,000 people. He sent 4, and he says they are equivalent to 4,000. This is like, people like, in fact, like a money, you know. Some money is worth a few dollars. Other money worth millions. So this is how the people are. So unless these people know, unless this youth know how to position themselves, how to work, how to create this, and how to use this talent, and connect these opportunities, what this youth is going to do? How they're going to be absorbed in economies where most of the GDP is something that is as basic as, for example, oil industry or gas. Or you can't absorb this youth. You have to develop new sectors. You understand? So this is where these topics become more interesting. Okay? Now, another important aspect is that you as a Muslim, specifically as a man, as we see from this statement where Muhammad Shaybani said, who was a famous student of Abu Hanifa, he said, according to majority of the fuqaha of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, is that working up to your level of need, where you can support yourself, and those that you are financially responsible, is a must. Understand what that means?
Yes.
You have to work, especially as a man. Woman has a choice, but you don't have a choice. You must work to provide basic necessity in life. Now what is this telling us? It is telling us that up to the level where you have to work and provide and engage in the finance, you also have to know this fiqh of finance, because it is going to affect you directly. Now some people might say, okay, well, you know, I don't need to really work that much, you know. What is the opposite of working?
Relaxing.
Relaxing, exactly. You don't worry about it, you know, I'll maybe work another day. So we see in Quran and so many narrations that Quran, for example, tell us that we should spend from the good things that we earn. Are you going to spend these things if you are not working? What is the alternative? So we see so many narrations where the Prophet ﷺ warned us against asking people for something while we can
Earn it ourselves.
earn it ourselves. And he told people, don't ask. Don't be the lower hand. In fact, he said that if you are asking this, meaning begging, that's what we translate as begging. Beggar is not somebody who some catastrophe or something happens to him and then he has to ask. But somebody who is young, full of energy, can do something about his own situation and he chooses to relax. He's working and living with his parents, they're going to take care of it, and then, you know, or some other system, the social security or whatever, he's relaxing. Okay? So Prophet ﷺ told us a couple of very important points about what will be the treatment of the person who does not utilize this skill. And inshallah, after the break, I'm going to tell you what these statements are. Thank you.
Marriage is the cornerstone for a successful society. can we maintain a successful marriage? Join us in this journey where we learn how to plan for it, execute it, maintain it, and end it according to Islam.
Grasp the unique philosophy of Islam to make marriages successful in Marriage and Divorce. Every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 8:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
Jinns, what are they? Where do they live? And what are the differences between shaitan and jinn? Can they see us? Can they harm us? Can they marry us? And how can we protect ourselves from them? Explore the world of jinn with me, Saeed Rage, only on Peace TV.
Join Saeed Raje in the world of jinn with reference to the glorious Quran and the authentic Hadith. Next on Peace TV.
Welcome back. We are discussing about issue of money and some of the Islamic principles surrounding this topic. So just before our break, we were discussing about a couple of these points. And we are actually talking about a situation where, as we know, Muslim is supposed to earn and work and be active. And he should not put himself in a situation where he depends on other people. And we said the Prophet ﷺ gave very hard warning to these people. He told us that if you are from these people who beg, what's going to happen to you in the Day of Judgment? You're going to get certain spots on your face. And in fact, you'll come on the Day of Judgment eventually without your face, without your skin on the face. This is very interesting. Like when you think about it, what do you think that symbolizes? The face, not having a face on the Day of Judgment.
Not humility, you know.
Humiliation.
Humiliation.
Disgracing.
Yeah,
Right.
disgrace.
Right.
Yeah, because usually face is connected with honor, dignity. So by asking from other people, you are losing part of your honor and your dignity. Is this what Islam wants from us?
No.
Absolutely no.
Absolutely not. So Islam wants from us to be upper hand, not the lower hand. So this is what we are going to discuss in some of the aspects regarding the mentality Muslims should have with respect to being active in life. Okay, so we said we all have to provide, we have to work, and this is what Muslims are supposed to do. So Sharia puts certain rules on these transactions. Now we as Muslims, we believe in this, we understand it, and we seek to understand more and more. However, when I talk with the Muslims, you know, especially those who are involved in dawah, they usually come a time when they say, you see, as a Muslim, I can explain pretty much everything in this deen to non-Muslims. And there is a logic. You know, for example, if I talk about halal food, I can explain the way we handle meat, why this, why the healthy, you know, all of the thing. I can explain pretty much everything. Okay. But when it comes to this finance, I have no idea where to start, where to end. Doesn't make any sense. Now, this is very interesting because if you look at some statistics, even done by non-Muslims, they find that most of the concern now in the world, amongst the youth especially, comes not around traditional topics like environment, things like that, or wars. In fact, youth today is not passionate about almost anything in their life. You know what they are passionate and what they are worried about? They find out that half or 50% is worried about finance. They live through the global financial crisis. They see their parents or loved ones losing the job, uncertainty it creates. So they want to give up study, career, everything, and go work to support those around them. So this creates certain anxiety, stress, this finance. So when you see people, for instance, around the world, non-Muslim, like Occupy Wall Street, they're on the streets. Like we have Arab Springs, people on the street. Then we have people on the other part of the world occupying New York, London, all of these exchanges, what they are saying? Are they calling for Islam or something? They are just crying. They are saying, we don't know what's going on. The system we have, specifically financial, we don't want it. It's failed us. But we don't know what we exactly want. And that was one of the criticism of these movements, is that they're telling us what they don't want, what they don't like, but there is no voice to say how alternative system could be run. Because today, if you go from capitalism to socialism, all of these things, they are failing, and people understand that. So when you go around and you see that there is universal demand for fair and just system that is socially responsible. So everyone wants this, okay? And what they want is to go from this inhumane system to something that is more ethical and better alternative to the way they handle their money and the finance. So when we go normally see and talk to these people, there are certain points which we are trying then to highlight. And if you come from certain areas in the world, like I live currently in Australia, you will know, for instance, Arab traders who came in 12th century to Indonesia as a traders, when they were interacting with the local population, they told them that, you know what, we have some rules how we manage our business and finances. And these locals were so impressed that they started learning the rest of Islam, because Islam comes as a whole package. You can't just pick one and, you know, it kind of works as a parts of the system. So you cannot, like in a normal body, you cannot just separate the heart and put it aside, and brain, and then your body, and hook it up all on the machine, which send you, there is some life form there. But it works best when, as it is intended to be together. So then those full benefits are realized for everybody. So these people, in a matter of a couple of centuries, entire Indonesia become Muslims because of these impressive rules that they had for running the business. So now that is 250 million Muslims living in Indonesia. In fact, as they started, these Muslims pick it up, trading, they reached even Australia 200 years before Captain Cook, but that's another story. But it was the same idea. They described these Muslim traders who came from Sulawesi and started trading with Aboriginals and marrying them and converting to Islam and so on. When these Aboriginals described this contact, they described it as the best encounter between these two civilizations. And that's not the same description they tell about Captain Cook and what's happened later. And we are proud of this history. So now when we have this cry of the world, in fact, some of them were quoted as carrying the sign, and they say, we want Islamic banking in these movements. We then need to be able to respond to show that this crisis, there are so small rules that, and the principles, if only these principles were implemented, you would stop or minimize the effect of these huge crises. I just give you one example. One of these things, you know, when they, in conventional finance that they do, is a method, what they call short selling, okay? Now, what short selling basically does is gives you profit when asset is losing value, okay? Does that make sense?
How? No.
How can you make money from something
Asset is losing
where
value.
asset is losing value? Is it logical? How can we gain?
It's not logical.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
So let's say this remote control is $10. Okay? If I owe this stuff, how can I make money?
By selling.
By selling, and hopefully at a higher price than what I bought it for.
Yes.
So if I bought this for a 10, I can only make money if somebody buys it for 11, 12, and so on.
Yeah.
Now, is it logical that I buy this for 10, sell it at 7, and make $3?
No, it's not.
It's unlogical.
It is not logical.
It's not logical.
However, you can do that in normal finance.
How?
Okay, how? Let's see example. All right. I will be party A. Let's say you are B and you are C.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you are let's say, representing what we call a bank or some sort of hedge fund or whatever is the name. Okay? Let's say this is some sort of shares of the company. Okay, let's make it like it's a company that deals in mining. Yes. So it's not a bad company. It's a reasonable company. They dig stuff, iron ore, they sell it. We make cars from the iron. Yeah. So it's something that is useful. Okay. Yeah. Generally, kind of Sharia compliant business. Yeah. Now, we can't say until we see financial whether these shares are fully Sharia compliant, but let's say that financials are fine and there's no issues that we are concerned with. So this seemingly legitimate company where I have some ownership, person wants to profit from price going down. Okay, so what they normally do is that they would lease these shares. So you would say, okay, this is $10. Let's put it $100. Okay, so this is $100, and I will lease this. You want to lease it maybe for about 7 days. Okay, you take this, I give you, and you're going to pay me, let's say, $2. Okay, I give you the asset which is worth $100. And we have a lease arrangement. You pay me $2 for 7 days. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what's your thinking about this? You can do something or influence or hope that price will fall down. Okay? This is your thinking. You are, let's say, betting on this. Because that's what they do. They bet on the price movement. They don't care what you are really doing. They just bet on the price movement up and down. So you have that asset now, which you borrow for $100. You're only paying $2 for it. Okay? You are hoping prices will go down. Now, what you do with that asset, how much it is currently on the market? It's $100 on the market.
$100.
You sell that asset to him. Okay? So you sell it to him. Okay? All right?
Yes.
Now, how much money you have with you?
Yes, 100.
From this? So you get $100. Okay? You paid
$2.
Okay? And what you owe me?
$100.
Do you what do you owe me? What I gave you?
Product for $100.
You gave him the product for $100.
Okay, so I gave you product which was $100.
Yes.
Now what do you owe me? Product or $100?
$100. Because you leased it. You owe him the product. He owes you the product.
Do I owe you $100 or
$2?
The products.
What did I give you?
The product.
I gave you product.
So
what do you have to return to me?
the product.
Money.
Product.
Yeah.
How much is that product?
$100.
Yeah, that time. But between us, doesn't matter what's the product. You have to return me
The product.
the product. Doesn't matter what's the price. So now, due to certain speculative activities over the course of the 7 days, speculation and maybe who knows who created these speculations. Okay, what's happened with this product? It goes down to 50. Okay?
Okay.
So this product it's traded on 50. Okay? Now what you do now? You have to return me the product. What do you do now?
He basically has to buy it back.
You buy it back. Okay, buy it back and pay him his money.
50.
So you buy and pay him 50. Okay?
Okay.
All right? So you paid him 50. Okay? How much you so far invested in this?
100. You invested
$2.
No. You paid $2 to lease it.
Yes.
You got $100 from selling it.
from selling it.
And then you had to
$50.
buy it back for this. How much now in your pocket?
$48.
$48.
$48. Okay. So we have $48. Now in your